Welcome, everyone, to the Apoco-Larry podcast. I'm Steve. He is
Lawrence.
Yep.
It's a solid name, Steve.
It's yeah. I was going to say it's multiple syllables. Sure. I don't know what else. It sounds regal. Let's go with that.
Is Lawrence 3 syllables or 2? Lawrence. Is that the end of a syllable or is that the beginning of a new syllable?
My first degree was in psychology. What are you doing to me right here? I only know how to read summaries. That's all I know how to do. Like, come now.
I think it's 2 syllables, Lore and Rents.
My friend, as we're talking about summaries, why don't you tell us about what we're going to talk about in 1 Samuel 12?
Well, this is Samuel finally turning the thing over completely to Saul. And he sounds a little miffed and a little peevish, but
Ooh.
the guys who are far more spiritual about it say that really he is defending the Lord's honor in some of this, but still, to me, it sounds a little, I did everything right, you've chosen a king. But then by the end it sounds like he is speaking for God.
Yeah.
So we'll give him that much.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're only a chapter from him getting very strongly after Saul for some stuff. So
yeah, which is
Saul.
Yeah, which is one of my favorite Bible stories ever.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, for those of you playing the at-home edition of the Apoco-Larry podcast, we're in 1 Samuel 12. And this is Samuel's farewell speech to the nation of Israel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a thing that I don't understand about this that I'd like to know, is they gather Israel together for this speech. I don't know who actually shows up at these things. Like it can't be all Israel. Their enemies would just walk in and take over their homes while they were gone. And there wouldn't be room for all of them, So he must be speaking kind of to the leaders of each tribe, because we're still tribes up until this point. Until he does this speech, they're still individual tribes, and they always are individual tribes to one extent. But this is going to be the beginning of the United Kingdom. Again, not Britain.
That's right. Okay, folks. 1 Samuel 12, starting at verse 1. Samuel said to all of Israel, I have listened to everything you said to me and have set a king over you. Now you have a king as your leader. As for me, I am old and gray, and my sons are here with you. I have been your leader from my youth until this day. Here I stand. Testify against me in the presence of the Lord and his anointed. Whose ox have I taken? Whose donkey have I taken? Whom have I cheated? Whom have I oppressed? From whose hand have I accepted a bribe to make me shut my eyes? If I have done any of these things, I will make it right.
Yeah, and see, that's where the others are saying he is actually showing Saul how he should react, how he should behave, to the people and to God. But doesn't it sound a little peevish?
It sure does. And it's certainly how I'd like to do my retirement speech when I retire.
Yes. You will not be able to, but
wouldn't that be great?
Whom have I cheated? All of us.
That's right.
Taking money from this school.
Whose donkey have I taken? I just want to use that line.
Yeah. Whose donkey have I taken?
I'm going to do this.
Well, there were a few donkeys we wished you'd take, but
that's right.
Yeah. Okay, so it sounds a bit peevish, but it may not be. And of course, it may be quite appropriate because of their answer to him.
Yes. Verse 4, You have not cheated or oppressed us, they replied. You have not taken anything from anyone's hand. Samuel said to them, The Lord is witness against you, and also his anointed is witness this day, that you have not found anything in my hand. He is witness, they said. Then Samuel said to the people, It is the Lord who appointed Moses and Aaron and brought your ancestors up out of Egypt. Now
okay,
then,
so what he's doing now is he's going to go through the whole history of Israel, just from Moses to the judges.
Okay.
To his time. Like he's
Okay.
going to pick it up at Moses, go to his time.
Okay. Now then, stand here, because I'm going to confront you with evidence before the Lord as to all the righteous acts performed by the Lord for you and your ancestors.
This is very common, by the way. There are a few sermons throughout the scriptures where this is what they do. Peter's Peter's is one. Stephen has one in Acts chapter 8 where he just he lists all of the things that God has done over the centuries, and that's what he's doing again.
Okay. After Jacob entered Egypt, they cried to the Lord for help, and the Lord sent Moses and Aaron, who brought your ancestors out of Egypt and settled them in this place. But they forgot the Lord their God, so he sold them into the hand of Sisera, isn't it? I don't remember.
And you remember who Sisera was from Hazor?
Yeah.
That's the one that Deborah talked about, where jailed. He's the guy who got the tent peg driven through his head.
That's right.
Yeah.
The commander of the army of Hazor, and into the hands of the Philistines and the king of Moab, who fought against them. They cried out to the Lord and said, "We have sinned. We have forsaken the Lord and served the Baals and the Ashereths. Now deliver us from the hands of our enemies, and we will serve you." Then the Lord sent Jerub-Baal, Barak, Jephthah, and Samuel, and he delivered you from the hands of your enemies all around you, so that you lived in safety.
Okay, so this was just the guys from the last book, right? From Judges. Jerub-Baal is Gideon.
Yep.
Right, and then Barak, Obama, and then Jephthah and Samuel, and then of course he refers to himself at the end of that.
Yeah, which is, he was the yes we can judge.
Yes.
I don't know. I thought it'd keep going.
Brought in healthcare.
Yeah, that's right, Obamacare. Verse 12. But when you saw that Nahash, king of the Amorites, was moving against you, you said to me, "No, we want a king to rule over us."
Yeah, now it's not Amorites, it's Ammonites.
Ammonites, sorry.
And the only reason I'm correcting you is, remember, Amorites were the people of Canaan. Ammonites were the sons of Lot.
Right.
Remember,
right.
Lot, Moab, the Moabites and the Ammonites were
right.
Were the kids of Lot.
You're right. And our joke last week was, and there's also the Samsonites, which were the luggage people. Okay, I'm with you. I'm back on track. Thank you for
High
that
priest
correction.
of luggage.
High priest of the carry-on. Anyway, no, thank you so much for correcting that. Now here is the king that you have chosen, the one you have asked for. The Lord has set a king over you. If you fear the Lord and serve and obey him and do not rebel against his commands, if both you and the king who reigns over you follow the Lord your God, good. But if you do not obey the Lord, and if you rebel against his commands, his hand will be against you as it was against your ancestors.
Yeah, so intriguingly, even though they're getting a king, I think all of this is serve God, right? Continue to serve God properly.
Yeah, and like a horrible warning, right? Like, because he knows what's coming. Yeah. Okay, verse 16. Now then, stand still and see this great thing that the Lord is about to do before your eyes. Is it not wheat harvest now? I will call on the Lord to send thunder and rain, and you will realize what an evil thing you did in the eyes of the Lord when you asked for a king.
Yeah. Now, I would have thought that was him being peevish again, except that the Lord sends thunder and rain. And as every farmer knows, what you do not want in harvest is thunder and rain. By the way, harvest for Israel is May, June.
Okay.
Yeah. They talk about the early and the latter rains being important. Those are early in April and then later in April or May and then in May. But by harvest, you do not want rain.
No. Okay, then Samuel called on the Lord, and that same day the Lord sent thunder and rain. So all the people stood in awe of the Lord and Samuel.
Yeah, so God's still good with Samuel.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, even though he's being a little bit of a turkey, he's like, yeah he's my guy.
He's still my guy.
Yep.
Get my guy on this.
Yep.
Yeah.
The people all said to Samuel, "Pray to the Lord your God," interesting statement there, "for your servants, so that we will not die, for we have added to all our other sins the evil of asking for a king."
Yeah, so they've realized. Must be a drag to be Saul standing there through this.
Yeah, going,
Yeah.
seriously? I'm right
Yeah.
here. I'm right over here.
Why are you saying this was so evil? I only did what I was told.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did I want to go look for my dad's donkeys? No, and this is what started the whole thing off. Do not be afraid, Samuel replied. You have done this evil, yet do not turn away from the Lord, but serve the Lord with all your heart. Do not turn away after useless idols. They can do you no good, nor can they rescue you, because they are useless. For the sake of his great name, the Lord will not reject his people, because the Lord was pleased with you to make you his own. As for me, far be it from me that I should ever sin against the Lord by failing to pray for you. And I will teach you the way that is good and right. Be sure to fear the Lord and serve him faithfully with your whole heart. Consider what great things he has done for you. And if you persist in doing evil, both you and your king will perish.
Yeah. Yeah. If it was a Shakespearean novel, I say little foreshadowing.
just a titch.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, I always like this thing with idols. In some places in Scripture, they clearly say, you take a piece of wood, you carve it, you set it on the mantle, and then you worship it. Like, how stupid are you?
Mm.
In other places, it say, don't you know when you're serving idols, you're actually serving demons?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's that little bit of a mix. The idols themselves are nothing, but there are the possibility of demonic forces behind such worship, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, he's now Samuel. Now he's not done. Like, Samuel is still God's prophet through the time of Saul, and to the coming of David, but he is done now as the head of this whole thing.
Right.
And I love him because he becomes just such a grumpy old man.
Yes. And next week we will see a fine example of that, being a grumpy old man in the most perfect way.
Yeah, but he hasn't cut his hair. He served God all his life, and as he's getting older, God is honoring him for it. And I think that's a wonderful thing. Israel, remember earlier on, when Samuel was upset about this, and God said, "They're not rejecting you; they're rejecting me," and he pulls that out in this chapter again.
Right.
They're rejecting God by asking for a king.
Yep.
But then God says, I can make this work too if you want it to work.
Yep. Yeah.
But keep serving me.
Yeah. The ball's in your court. I know you're going to screw this up. Don't get me wrong, but
I'm kind of stuck having to know the end from the beginning.
Oh, I'm sure the Lord just shakes his head constantly at us. Okay, folks, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much for coming, for just doing this and just leading us through this passage. What a great lead in to 1 Samuel 13. Sorry, I'm a little off. But just the insight into Samuel, like you even picking out that, he sounds a little angry, and maybe that's a reflection of Samuel still thinking, yeah, but they've rejected me too, Lord. And he's still reflecting that hurt feelings. And then, like you said, Samuel's sitting over there going, hello, over here in the throne, this is me. Oh, such rich scripture.
Yeah, and remember, Saul's still a really good guy at this point.
Yeah, he's still a good man. Yeah. Folks, as always, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate your downloads as we see them in the stats. It's so very much appreciated. Larry and I would do this even if no one listened, but we're sure thankful for the encouragement of those that do listen. Until next time, I was Steve, he was Larry, and this was the Apoco-Larry Podcast.